Hello, friends, Inner Circle fam. Thank you for tuning in today. Your host at ATL. We are back by popular demand. Today, we are going to talk the returns contest, both the gauntlet and the mitten returns. Underdog has decided we degenerates need more gambling. We need to be able to play more fantasy best ball. And I'm here for it. I assume you guys are too, or else you wouldn't be listening to me on a random Tuesday night talking about fantasy best ball for the NFL. I know, very exciting. I wish there were some more exciting games this past weekend. Mostly blowouts outside of the Tampa game, Tampa, Washington. But we've got another round of playoff best ball in the returns contest. Again, some solid contests from our friends over at Underdog. So appreciate those of you who have tuned in. Kiss, nice to see you. Philly Phantom, thanks again for tuning in. For those of you who don't know me, have done some work over with 1 Week Season on their best ball product for regular season, producing daily fantasy content on the DFS side, whether it's late swap strategy stuff, whether it's kind of overviews of the slate. Have talked specifically in years past about this same contest as well as the weekly winners. Was really bummed Underdog didn't bring that back this year. Something that had some great success. Did a strategy article with Neil Orfield last year, and a recap stream as well, and just kind of talking through, hey, this is the strategy that we talked about, and look, Neil came in first 1 week, I came in third 1 week, all using the same strategy. So bummed Underdog didn't bring that back, but what they did bring back was the gauntlet returns, and I'm excited to kind of chat through that a little bit. Appreciate you being with us. Hey, Peabody, nice to see you today. So let's talk a little bit about the gauntlet returns. So gauntlet returns is a 13,000 person contest, 300 crate prize pool, and a nice flat structure, 10% to first, and not even 1%, even more than 1%, more than 1.5% going to 10th. So nice flat payout structure. Advance rates on this, 1 out of 4. So unlike the regular mitten and the gauntlet, which were 6-team snake drafts, 6-player snake drafts, these are 4-person snake drafts, and you've got an advancement structure, as you see, of 1 of 4 wild card weekend here this weekend, then 1 of 10 in the conference championships next weekend, followed by a 325 seat Super Bowl in the final. The mitten is pretty similar. Biggest difference, again, 1 of 4 in this weekend, 1 of 12 next weekend. To be candid, not much of a difference between 1 of 10 and 1 of 12. It's a really thin needle you're trying to thread. And then again, a few hundred people. This is a 450 person versus 325, I believe, on the gauntlet. In terms of the Super Bowl and teams you are competing with. Mitten also 100K prize pool, again, pretty flat, 10,000 for first. This is the 1% to 10th with just 1,000, but again, a pretty flat payout structure. In my opinion, much better than the contest that DraftKings, for example, produces. So let's hop in here and let's just rip a draft. We'll talk through some strategies. I will take questions in the comments, answer any questions that I can. But tell me, how did you guys do with your the first round of advancements with your drafts? In the different discords that I'm associated with, whether it's DFS Mastermind or 1 Week Season or the Ship It guys, I tried to be as transparent as I could be. I believe I had 163 teams out of like 560 that advanced. So I think I was running it like right at like 31%, and that's across all the different contests. We have some that are, 1 of 6 advanced, some that are 2 of 6 advanced, depending on if they were Gauntlet or Big Mitten or Mitten 3, just kind of different advance rates. So happy with our our starts, but for me, it's generally like I don't really care that much about advancement out of the first round. Like the contests, not as bad as DraftKings, but the contests are very top heavy. Like, min caches don't even get, advancing out of the first round doesn't even get you your money back. The first round advancement in the gauntlet is $20, whereas the entry is 25. So you certainly don't want to be playing for min caches. So haven't done many of these drafts yet. I think I've done 2 in the mitten and 1 in the gauntlet so far, both in like the last hour, just so that I felt like I had some things to tell you guys about. So to me, I think kind of the sharpest way to attack these is to play a little chicken on quarterback. Like I really feel like you want to wait on quarterback in these. There are 4, we'll say, very strong options at quarterback. And it's such a minus EV approach to take more than 1 quarterback. I guess I take that back. You could certainly take more than 1. I certainly wouldn't take more than 1 in the first 3 or 4 rounds. If you decide that you want to grab, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and then, hold on, let me decide what I want to do here. I think this has to be Gibbs. If you decide that you want to take, a couple Rams pieces, and then in the 10th round, you've got Matt Stafford sitting there, I certainly don't have anything negative to say about that. Kiss says my Detroit KC stuff got decimated. I mean, that was the thinnest needle to try to thread was those builds. I got a couple of them through, but we'll see how it shakes out because it's even now more difficult now. It's a 1 of 10 advance this round in the original Mitten and Gauntlet contest, so difficult to kind of sneak those through. So generally, I'm going to play chicken here again. I'm going to grab Travis Kelce here, and I'm going to be okay with either Mahomes or Goff, whichever one kind of falls to me. Go Collect says, good evening. Go Collect, thanks for joining. Great chatting with you in Discord as always. Yeah, so to me, I think in these type of drafts, you really need to push and try to build the super teams in these contests. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a chance that Jared Goff. Again, I think it's a big mistake. Like what the 1 seed here, Hahood, has done would basically be a death punch for him to take 3. Like you'd be basically just waving a white flag. Go Collect said, I got Hurts in round 5 today. Yep, that's solid. Chuck E. Cheese asked, were you able to get that Cook Lions team through? No, it finished in 3rd. It was a 3rd seed. It was a crazy unique build, but it didn't get enough points out of my first round guys. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is roll the dice one more time. It could totally backfire on me, but I think this is roll the dice one more time. And if it doesn't, if 3 Trevs takes Goff, which he did, it's $5 down the drain. But you're real, like, to me, this is the opportunity where you have the opportunity to build a ridiculous stack team. And that's really what you're trying to do in these contests. So to me here, this is probably a team that literally has no chance of advancing. Puka and Kyron are gone. Maybe it was too risky to roll the dice there. So Honestly, this is probably a dead team. I'm gonna just keep taking what I would call advancement rate pieces. Honestly, maybe that's a mistake here, not taking Goff. This team is pretty strong already. I'm going to be able to backfill it with Chiefs. Maybe that's a mistake not taking him there. But at this point, while this roster is pretty thin, I'm going to let 3Trevs know how much I appreciate him taking Goff. Let him have no Lions and no Chiefs. Again, kind of a dead build here. But again, I'm of the opinion that you really want to try to push these builds. Maybe should have taken Goff here and not pushed it. This was a pretty strong start that I've kind of let get away. But again, I think it's worth it because if the 4 hole here, if he's not a dick and doesn't take Goff completely naked, unstacked, where it's not like he has a poor team. He's got a solid Philly build here, and it's easy enough to stack KC later on. So, but if Goff does get through here and I'm able to build out this team with Goff, like this is a super strong team. But again, I'm of the opinion that you need to be willing to lose. So from here, I'm probably just going to fire 2 quarterbacks and kind of build this as an advance. Again, kind of a minus EV approach, but once everything is off the board here, there's nothing really better for me to do. McLaurin is gone. Where am I gonna build here? Let's see. Fana said I had one up on late through collect. Just got lucky. Just saw 3 quarterbacks in a row. Yeah, I mean, people do stupid stuff. They could be auto drafting. That's certainly possible. But I think people they don't understand the concept, or they're hate drafting and they see that you've got something strong going and they just try to give you the middle finger. What a dick taking Goff. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's only a mistake because the guy sniped you. Are you doing another mitten after this? Yeah, I'm going to do another mitten after this. I'm going to do a couple of mittens. I'm going to do maybe some gauntlets. We'll just see how much time we have, 2, how much money I have in the account, and we'll go from there. Let's go. Nice draft. I got to rewatch. Let's go Buffalo. Yeah, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan a little bit too, through marriage of sorts. So let's fire another here in the mitten. I guess I've done 4. This will be my 5th. My 5th in the mitten. These things are filling so quickly. Collins, McLaren, Rams feel like the best advancement rate pieces. Do you try to wear them in? So candidly, and this is maybe a hot take, I think advancement rate pieces are useless, personally. On builds where I feel like I am not sniped, I won't take a Nico Collins, a Terry McLaurin. I think that they're completely wasted picks. And the reason for that being, Jared, is they're advancement pieces, but advancing out of the first round is the easiest round. It's a 1 out of 4. So while a Nico Collins may help you advance out of round 1, like, he's not advancing. I think it's very unlikely that Houston advances. I think it's very unlikely Washington advances. So while those guys give you some upside, like in this round for advancement, like I think this is the round that you don't need help advancing. So to me, like, I'm going to try, this is an interesting decision. So to me here, this is basically always Amon-Ra St. Brown for me with this board. And then the decision is, do I go Henry or do I go James Cook? Because obviously I'm not getting Josh Allen. So in that Super Bowl, I'm betting this way. In this direction, I could still get Lamar. I think people would be potentially hesitant to take Lamar without Henry. Yeah, so to me, I think, and I was having this discussion with a friend of the show, Crutches, who was on as a co-host last week. Really sharp dude. If you don't follow him on Twitter/X, you really should. Doesn't post a ton of like strategy related content, but a real sharp dude. Always enjoy his thoughts. But yeah, we are in lockstep here. We're in lockstep here that those pieces really have no value, because in round 2, which is the most difficult round to advance, which is a 1 of 12 in the mitten and a 1 of 10 in the gauntlet, like, you really need basically all 10 of your guys. You really want to have as many options as possible. So those, first round advancement pieces to me are really terrible picks. So to me, like, I would rather build out like a 5-3-2, or a 4-4-2, maybe a 6-4 or a 5-5, and just kind of lean into that variance. I'm being talked into a 6-4. I'm not sure where I personally stand on it, but I don't mind it. Okay, so here's an interesting play. Do I lean into? I think I lean in here and just kind of see what comes back to me. I think this is David Montgomery because I don't think he's back to me next time. And I think this is Bateman probably, or maybe let's take Mark Andrews. Stat, any changes to your Super Bowl prediction after bye week games? I think I gave you my favorite pick was Detroit, Baltimore, Detroit, Buffalo as my 2 favorites, or Detroit, Kansas City. Those are basically how I'm building all of my builds, more or less. So to answer your question, no. Copy paste, has your Super Bowl prediction changed based off of last week's results? Why the fuck would you do that? Takes Lamar Jackson without any. Okay, well, I mean, that's a strategy. To me, that was a big mistake by Slim Slug the Plug. Like, that should be Jared Goff every time, or that's another Bills player every time. Maybe that's probably Shakir for me every time here, and then Goff on his build. Like, that's, to me, that's a huge. Yeah, I mean, again, just like the regular season drafts, even folks with the badges continue to make what I think are mistake after mistake. Like, these are both, in my opinion, these are both horrible picks for the 3-hole. He doesn't have a Raven. He doesn't have a Chief. Why are you taking both of those picks? But totally fine. Hate snipe. Why is he hate sniping me? I didn't take any of his guys. He's mad I took Montgomery. I took Amon-Ra with the 4th pick. Copy says, nah, I still have Philly, Buffalo, or Philly, KC. Man, I am so down on Philly. Their offense is miserable. Hey, Hollywood Brown, got your first correlated piece there in the 7th round. Love that for you, buddy. There's no backstacking here. Okay. Frost says legit packing and love the WTF. Hey, buddy, just trying to keep you on your toes. Down on Philly, so high on the Rams by default. Yes. Yes, I prefer the Rams at their draft capital. Where did Puka Nacua go in this draft? He went in the. This is later than normal, but yeah, he went in the 7th. Like, could legit backstack the Rams here. That's a mistake. Should have taken Kyren Williams. Why? Like, to me, like on his build here, where he in the 2-hole where he's got Barkley, Hurts, Goddard. If you're gonna take Puka, like, to me, you lean in and take Puka, Kyren, and then backstack that with Stafford as well. Like, obviously, you're gonna lose 3 pieces, but like, to me, like, don't do that at all. Like, if you're not gonna lean into it, don't go that way. Like. Defense wins championships. Yeah, sure. It doesn't win fantasy championships. So I am Goff here. This is Lions. We'll take Khalif Raymond. And we'll really lean into Baltimore, and we'll take Justice Hill here. How's that working out with Lamar Jackson? 3-all. Oh, wait, you don't have a single Raven. That's cool. Oh, you got Nelson Aguilar. That'll be helpful. Don't stack the Eagles with Puka and more Rams, please. Yeah, I mean, go collect that. I think that draft was very poorly executed. Like, you really need at least 8 guys in round 2. You really want 9 or 10. So to me, like, you're either building around 2 teams or you're building around 3 teams, and the 3 teams obviously aren't playing each other this round. On this build, had there been some more availability, maybe this is, Hollywood Brown, Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, like backfilling some Chiefs here to go with Lions and Ravens. To me, that's the smartest way to approach these, where you could, legit get 10 guys through next week and then get to the Super Bowl with 7, 8 guys, or you build kind of how we did here and you're all in on 2 teams. I think if I'm gonna go all in on 2 teams, like, this is a 4-6. Probably prefer it as a 6-4. 4-6 meaning the quarterback and only 3 players from Detroit with 6 Ravens. Again, don't love how this build ended up, but again, you're playing for more of those cleaner runs. Like, as we talked about when we got to the 5th, 6th here, like, slim slug. Should never go Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Like, no, you should never take 2 quarterbacks this early, in my opinion. And you should never take 2 quarterbacks completely unstacked. Like, to me, that makes no sense. But say la vie. Sayan says, first day doing this and found your stream, somehow ended up drafting with you. I was the first guy. Thoughts? First, thank you for watching along, and thank you for drafting along. So I'll give you some feedback. So you go Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. Don't mind that. Amari Cooper. Don't mind that. You go Pacheco. So who did you take in the final with your final pick, Sayan? It looks like you got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, I don't mind this. I don't love Kyren Williams on his own. I think obviously I think maybe here if you're going to go that route, yeah, I think I just avoid Kyren Williams here altogether. You took Gainwell last. Yeah, so I like that. So you've got AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Gainwell, and then you've got Allen. Yeah, so to me, like, that Philly and the Rams are playing round one. So to me, like, you're all in on one or the other. Like, to me, you're not voluntarily trying to lose pieces. And I don't think you need advancement rate pieces. Like, I don't think advancement rate pieces actually help you because they get eliminated and then they're useless. And they only help you advance out of the easiest round to advance. So just my 2 cents. Go Collect says no running back for Super Bowl matchup. Which team? Oh, Slim Slug? Yeah. Yeah, he could. Mahomes, and he's got Gibbs like that. He could go there. Yeah, makes sense. But I hadn't really thought. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I'm doing the streams, to kind of help get some education. Anyone you'd rather take over Kyren in that spot? Yeah. So to me, you've got Buffalo, Philly, KC. So I would take more pieces from those 3 teams, either Buffalo, Philly, or KC. I wouldn't venture to a 4th team. So at this spot, like, we're going this way. I mean, since you don't have James Cook, like, I'm taking Ty Johnson here. Like, Ty Johnson is a borderline must-have if you have Josh Allen and don't have James Cook. The guy in pick 1 doesn't have a Super Bowl running back. Correct. Unless it's the Rams, and it's a one-off piece for the Rams. But yes, good eye there. Copy paste. Yeah, so that really leans into having Ty Johnson here instead of Kyren. That's what I would have done. Let's fire up one more of these if you guys are interested. I didn't know what to do without Cook, Ray Davis, or Ty Johnson. So right now I prefer Ty Johnson. Ray Davis suffered that concussion during the game. Unsure his status. He may or may not play. So I would lean into Ty Johnson personally. We're gonna fire up another mint and returns. I would try to get in with me if you want. These things fill so quick that me like counting and trying to give you guys, as we did with the regular gauntlets and mittens during the the regular rounds, I think is just hard to do. So don't know if any of these are any of y'all watching along. P-tabs are nothing but 10s or shubes 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 7, 6. But if you are, good luck to you drafting. Yeah. So to me, the big push that I'm gonna continue to make is I really feel like playing chicken with quarterback. Playing chicken with quarterback is the optimal approach. And again, depending on how many morons or hate drafters you have with you, you could totally get sniped like you've seen me do, or like you saw me get on the very first one. But I think you're really trying to build that super team to win it all because these things are so top heavy. So nothing but 10s as you go collect. Well, I look forward to drafting with you. Board goes Gibbs Barkley. Basically means it'll be Amon-Ra or Henry for me with one of my 2 picks. Potentially both of them, depending on what happens here. From Shubes, he takes Amon-Ra. So to me, at this point, like, building around Detroit is not a strong play. So I'm going to do something that seems counterintuitive here. I think. No, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Henry and Cook here. Again, basically eliminating one player. Probably a mistake, but want to set myself up with multiple options for quarterback and don't want to take a quarterback this early. Actually, in hindsight, this is a mistake. Should not do this. Because I'm basically guaranteeing I'm going to lose one of my top 5 picks in the first round. This is a mistake. Not sure if I missed it, stat, but who's your 101? Well, for me, it's Gibbs or Amon-Ra. So to me, the one here, this is a mistake going Allen with Gibbs. Like, Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams are both gone already. Like, if you make it to the Super Bowl, like, this lineup will be dominated probably. Who is my dark horse team to stack? Well, in this build, you're probably going to see me stack the Rams. This is not a build where I'm not going to probably go KC. I think that's probably a mistake with this start. Like, I need to lean into Baltimore here, I think. So I think that this is probably maybe not. Like, this for sure. He should go Philly. No, this is a mistake. We're going to push this one more round. I don't really... and I think we come here and we take Puka. Shubes will go 3 QB on you in a heartbeat, just a heads up, but maybe he's changed his ways. I mean, he doesn't have one yet, so. Who's your dark horse team? Probably the Rams, but I don't love the Rams. I just kind of think of, in this particular, how this started. And again, full disclosure, this is a mistake. Henry, James Cook. Again, haven't done very many of these drafts. This is a mistake. How can you not take Lamar there? Not so narrowcast, because I think there's a strong possibility Lamar comes back to me with Henry and Bateman off the board already, with nothing but 10s, leading with 3 straight Eagles. Like, makes the most sense for him to go Hurts to build out this build. And Shubes went Amon-Ra, Jameson, Montgomery. Like, he's probably taking Goff. So Lamar's coming back to me. So to me, no reason to reach on him. Again, I'm a big proponent of pushing quarterback. How did your main best balls go? I advanced 163 out of like 560, like 31.7% or something like that. So kind of right about where I would expect to be. You know, and that's inclusive of some 1 of 6 and some 2 of 6 advance rates. It's honestly a little higher than I thought it would be, just because of how much I built around Kansas City and Detroit and had a bunch of KC Detroit builds together. Okay, so like, why the fuck would you do that? So, as one of you alluded to earlier, who's my dark horse team to stack? It's going to be the Rams. How do I not take Lamar there? You know, I'm figuring that the guy that starts off with 3 straight Lions and then takes a Chief is either going to take Goff or Patrick Mahomes here. But again, lots of idiots in these contests. In the drafts that you have done, what's your favorite spot to draft from? My favorite spot to draft from is not squeezed between 2 idiots on either side. Luckily, it's only one in this draft. But I think I had done 3 prior to the stream and absolutely loved the builds out of all 3 of them. So, again, it's a numbers game. I think in order to really be successful with this, you have to be willing to fire off some drafts, because again, only one team's going to win. I mean, you may end up chopping a contest, but only one of your teams is likely going to win. So I'm okay with sacrificing a few. It's a numbers game, just like poker. Got to get it in a lot of hands. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you keep getting it in as a 60-40, 70-30 favorite, like, you know, that's all you can do is give yourself a lot of shots on goal. So to me, this is Cooper Kupp. This is Matt Stafford. Not going to push this because there's no one that I feel like I can't live without here. Could have considered Isaiah Likely here and pushed Stafford. But just watching what this idiot did, and one of you already mentioned that he took 3 quarterbacks in the draft that you did. If Stafford goes, this lineup is completely dead. Like, there's no build that I can make with this. So, okay with it as now, you know, we're through 8 rounds. I think I'm a 4-3-1, basically sacrificing James Cook, which, as I mentioned when I did it, a mistake. I'm starting to see that people can't help themselves come round 5 if they don't have a quarterback and take a panic pick. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, I may panic pick and take Patrick Mahomes in the 10th if he's there. I wouldn't hate it for you, to be honest. I would take Patrick Mahomes here. Yeah, that's what I would do. You're basically leaning into Philly. You've go collect. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Eagles and 1, 2, 3. Like, to me, this is a late sleeper Chief. You know, a Juju Smith-Schuster, a Noah Gray, a Samaje Perine, one of those types, and really lean into a 5-5 build. I like that build for you. What are we doing here? We got any more Ravens that we can take? Maybe we can take that lovely Nelson Aguilar for the win. I would have taken Justice Hill, but our lovely friend next to me took him with his completely uncorrelated build. And we'll take Tyler Higbee here. if I can spell Rams right. What am I missing? No. Why is he not projected for anything? So, again, this is all about a 5-4-1 with 5 Rams, 4 Ravens, and a Bill. One kind of sacrifice pick. Don't hate this. See how our friend Shubes did. He ends up with 1, 2, 3. Ends up with 4 Lions, 5 Lions. Sacrifices Kelsey, and then he's got Lamar, Andrews, likely Justice Hilton, Patrick. I mean, not horrendous, but don't love it. Like, could have built this much stronger. And then the one hole, he goes Gibbs, Allen, Laporta, Shakir, Worthy, Amari, Kareem Hunt, Dalton Kincaid, Coleman. So he's all in on Buffalo, KC, and kind of weak on Detroit. This is probably should be like Khalif Raymond for him here. We'll see. Solid build. Go collect. Yeah. I mean, I think that's solid. I like what you did there. Go collect. Thanks for drafting. Hopefully James Conner scores 40 in a loss. Yeah. I mean, in this build, yes. So let's fire one more if you guys are up for it. Always enjoy doing these. I'm kind of learning on the fly with you, talking through my thoughts since I haven't done too many of these. Actually, let's do a gauntlet. Let's do a gauntlet returns. And that filled up even quicker than the others because there's just too many degenerates out here. No, I don't want that. Thank you. That can't. Oh no, I'm next to the sniper. Don't love that for me. So appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching tonight. I don't think there's I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of content on the playoff returns. So my plan is to today is Tuesday. I'll probably do a stream around 7 o'clock on Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially Friday, unless my wife has made us plans I don't know about. And we'll just kind of go from there. His name is Sniper. Yeah, his name is Sniper. Yeah, it scares me a bit. These look fun. Yeah, I mean, these are fun. They go much quicker. There's only 4 teams in each draft, so they do go quick. They fill quick. But again, I made a mistake last draft, but we've basically seen our opponents make multiple mistakes outside of our friend Go Collect, who had a really strong draft there. Basically every one of these builds so far. You probably won't see me draft many Eagles. I am not super high on the Eagles. Henry 101 thoughts. Don't mind it. I don't mind Barkley at 101. I think the only mistake at 101, in my opinion, is a quarterback. The big 5 quarterbacks on these are like a game of chicken, but you have to get 1 or 2. You don't have to. I kind of got stuck with Stafford. But yes, 100%. I think it's a game of chicken. And I like the game of chicken that I have right now because I'm kind of okay with either Mahomes or Goff with how I'm likely going to build this out. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Still pushing the envelope here, people. Could be a gauntlet. Could be a mistake. Still pushing the envelope. So I think not taking Mahomes here would be the mistake. So our guy in the 4-hole, Doobie Miles, has got a couple Eagles with Saquon Hurts and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, and then he's got Henry and Bateman. So clear where he's trying to go. Again, just like the regular season best ball drafts, I think kind of paying attention to what your opponents are doing is just as critical as in those. Kind of generally tells you which direction they're trying to go. So I grabbed Shakir here. Okay with him doing that. I think to me here, this is probably Pacheco. Pepperottini says, I think 2 QBs is bad here until late. Hit your wagon on your guy and try not to hedge. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. So like I was pushing Go Collect to take Mahomes in the 9th. Like to me, that's, and he had built around. Honestly, I don't remember who he built. I think it was Philly and KC. So that made a ton of sense to do that. Okay, so here, I want to have another. I definitely want another Detroit piece, so I probably take Khalif Raymond here. Or do I take Hunt here? No, I take Hunt here. Because he went Brown, Hopkins, Hunt probably doesn't make it back to me. And so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 KC pieces. 1, 2, 3. So this is either Dalton Kincaid, or this is Khalif Raymond. So we either build this out as a 5-3-1 or yeah, no, I think this is Kincaid. I think this is Kincaid. People are going to have full Super Bowls pulled out. Yeah, hold on. I think I missed a copy. Yeah, enough people are building with the no hedge, not scared money strategy, so it's minus EV to build up. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that you need to probably have minimum 7 or 8 live players in the final to feel like you have a chance. And if you only have 7, one of those 7 probably needs to kind of be a second tier player. So like if you're, in a build like mine, like this considers like a Juju Smith-Schuster instead of Kincaid, or a Mason Raymond instead of Kincaid. Because if it's just the nuts, like if the top guys are the top guys in the Super Bowl, like if it's a Detroit, Kansas City, and it's Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, and Kelsey or Montgomery or Worthy, whatever. If those are the top scorers and those are the top 5 scorers, like that lineup that wins is going to be duplicated a whole bunch of times. So I think if you look at last year's, which just for fun fact, for those of you tuning in who don't know, I won the flagship contest last year. Like you need, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Had 2, McCole Hardman. Like McCole Hardman was the skeleton key that allowed you to ship solo first place last year. You needed CMC to be in the conversation. You needed Jawan Jennings to be in the conversation. But like if you had McCole Hardman who scored 2 touchdowns, like you could have shipped solo last year. So to me, that's kind of what you need. Certainly in these more condensed contests, there's just going to be so much more duplication. So we'll fire another here in the mitten. We are 2. Ooh, I can't believe we waited this long. 2 of 3, 4. Okay. Shubes again. Maybe the dude's listening to my streams. If he is, I'm not a fan of your drafting, sir. I mean, I am. I appreciate you being in the drafts and making my advancement rates more likely and dead money to win first higher. I do appreciate that. So I have made it be known that my guess for the Super Bowl is probably Detroit Buffalo. Throw in the comments what do you think is your choice, your best bet for most likely Super Bowl matchup. Maybe Shubes will just start with Josh Allen. Wouldn't that be a treat? Starts off with Gibbs. I'm going to take Amon-Ra because I'm going to stick true to my word. We got some votes for Baltimore, Detroit. We got, he says Baltimore wins. Chuck says Baltimore, Philly. Not So Sorrow says Detroit, Buffalo, or Baltimore. Both. Buffalo, Philly. Eagles, Chiefs rematch. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's great. I think still anybody can win. And I think that helps with how these contests are being drafted. So now this is an interesting decision here. I think that I lean into this and kind of let Shubes make the decision on how we build out the rest of this. This Steelers, Baltimore can easily roll Buffalo. Yep, I don't disagree. I think I saw that Baltimore was a favorite on the road. I think it's the first time that like Buffalo has been an underdog at home in the playoff game. This is interesting. Do I push this? Probably. That was probably a mistake. I got to update my rankings. I don't need to see all the quarterbacks up at the top. I don't need to see, Nico Collins and Kyron. Like, I don't need these guys at the top. In that last draft, did you consider taking Kyron over? Not so narrowcast. You're probably late to the stream. So to me, I think that guys like Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, McLaurin, like, I think those are wasted picks unless you're building around those teams. Like, to me, the first round is the easiest to advance out of. It's 1 out of 4 advance. And those guys are unlikely to advance. So, like, maybe Joe Mixon helps you with a running back slot and puts up a decent score, but they still lose. And then you don't have him in the rounds where it's actually difficult to advance. So to answer your question, no. Player advance rate in real life, fantasy advance rate. How many points would they have to score for you to deem them a good pick if you knew how many points they would score? I'm okay with completely passing on a guy that gets you 25 or 30 points in the first round and loses. Like, I don't want that. I don't want a guy who loses. I see no value in being nice to our friend Shubes, who decided he had to snipe me last draft with no actual pieces. I at least here have, I at least have multiple lions here. Kind of goes both ways. That was me just being a jerk. Yeah, no, this is Anders. No, it's not. Thank you, sir. I needed to relieve a little stress out of being sniped by Stubes over there. 2 out of the 4 drafts we've done on stream. Give us a 5-second cush time before you drop in, and we'll try next time. Go collect for you, my dude. I will do it. Like button for a sweaty tryhard. Buddy, I do appreciate you and anyone else associated with our buddy James. Did it relieve the tilt? No, not really. I don't know that I would have done that in a gauntlet draft. But in the $5 ones, it's got nice to have a little revenge on someone who sniped me twice for no fucking reason. I at least had multiple lines at this point. Did you take it down solo or chop? It was a 4-way chop last year in the main. Hey, buddy, what comes around goes around. That's what they say. We won't be reviewing any teams. We'll do one more draft here. I'm going to navigate over. I'm moving slowly. I'm going to be in the mitten. I'm clicking on the mitten, but I'm not entering just yet. I'm counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm entering a mitten returns. Ooh, clean room, 1 of 4. Maybe we'll get to see a couple of friendly faces in this one. I make no promises. I work for tips. Oh man, I see Pepperatoni, I see Snow 1021. All guys I know have been listening to the stream the last week or two. Love that. Pepperatoni says hello. Go collect. Didn't work out for us this time, but I do appreciate you following along. It was a great drafting with you early. I really like the team you put together. The Snow says just in time. Snow, great to have you here, buddy. This will be our last of the day. As I mentioned, I will do this again. Go collect IE. Honestly, I hate that for you. So I'm going to do this, I think, today's Tuesday. I'll probably do this Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday around the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern start. We will draft some gauntlet returns, some mitten returns. We'll talk strategy. We'll answer questions. I would expect the ADP and the board to change a good bit over the next couple of days, but maybe not. Maybe people will continue to be idiots. We will see. If you don't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. I started my own channel just maybe 2 weeks ago, right around the start of the year. It is at StatATL on YouTube. Link is down there in the description if you want to give that a like and a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's at WGableman, or just search for StatATL. You will find it there. I am reasonably active there, mostly with DFS content. So this board goes Allen, Henry. So to me, I don't mind going Henry because you basically deterred me here from taking Lamar. Like, I'm not going to take Lamar because I can't get Henry. And in this contest, in order to win, you're probably going to want them on the same lineup. Quarterback round 1 is a mistake. In my opinion, yes. You guys who have been watching for the hour here, we've done, what, 5 drafts now? You've seen much stronger teams be built that don't go quarterback at the 101. Like, I think I took Josh Allen in the 3rd or 4th round in one of the drafts that I've done. Like, he falls. So, if you're able to build a team that you've got 2 or 3 really strong pieces and then Josh Allen, that's such an advantage compared to a Josh Allen start this way. Just my opinion. Snow, I know you're a friend of the pod or the stream. Take whoever you want. Don't. You won't hurt my feelings here. I only say that because I'm going to take Kelsey. I won't be a dick and take them both. Go Collect says 4 QBs off the board in the first 3 rounds in my draft, and I have 0. Well, there's 5 that I think you should be okay with having. So if you can get one of those and you've got a lot of strong other pieces, I think you could be in the driver's seat. But that's just my opinion. Not because I want him, Pepper, but to me that's it's an interesting pick there because you're not going to get any other Lions. I did not mean to take Jalen Hurts there. That was totally a misclick. You will just have to believe me that was not my intention. But hey, I got an unstacked Jalen Hurts. Don't love that for me. Solid wasted draft spot. I'm sure you believe me when you look at this roster and see that I have no other Eagles. What part of Atlanta do you live in? I live in Brookhaven. You familiar with Atlanta, Peabody? If so, what part of town are you in, my dude? Coach postseason. I mean, honestly, I would prefer the Eagles just lose round 1. That would help my best ball bags. I have so few Eagles. So we are here probably a Chief and a Lion. Or maybe we take both of these. Maybe we take both of these bums. No, not Anton Green. 1, 2, 3. This is definitely Khalif Raymond. And then Brookhaven as well. Wow, small world. Shoot me over a message on Twitter or something, Peabody. Twitter. All right, we'll do one more of these. You guys have convinced me. I'm in for one more. We want to do a mitten or a gauntlet. You guys tell me. First 1 to 3 votes. Mitten or gauntlet? It's looking like mitten, y'all. So I'm navigating over to the mitten returns. We will try this again. Don't hit enter just yet. For those of you who have been following the stream, you know what I'm trying to do here. 6650 divided by 4 is half. So 6652 divided by 4. All right, so we're looking for 6652. Once you see it hit 6652, that means it's a clean room. And now, you try to get in. Man, this shit fills up so quick. Good Lord. Let's see who is in here with us. East of Ethan. D-Rap. Pepperontini. Man, I think these are all subscribers to the channel. If you are drafting with us here, Ethan, D-Rap, Pepperontini. I know Pepperontini, you've been vocal very recently. D-Rap, if you're in this room with us, East of Ethan, you're in this room with us, say what's up. I'm in with Snow. Man, we've got a lot of good people in this community. So, outside of our guy Scoobs or whatever his name is. I don't know that I've drawn the 1 or 2 hole yet today. I think I've been 3 or 4 in all 5 drafts that we've done. And D-Rap, yep, D-Rap. Ethan, great drafting with you, my dude. That last time I went to Atlanta, I saw a cop fist fighting a dude outside of his car on the side of the freeway. You sure it wasn't outside of a Waffle House? That would be more on brand for Atlanta. I will say the problem with drafting with all of my friends here is you guys are going to maybe force me to take a Eagle. And Lord knows I don't want to do that. But we will. Just for the show. Friend of the show here. Taking Eagles. Diversify the portfolio. Yeah, man. Wu-Tang Financial. Got to diversify your bonds. Yes, got to have some of those $5 Eagles. For sure. For sure. Freeze is in the house today. Haven't drafted any of these yet. Seems to me like there isn't as much of an edge compared to the pre-wild card best ball contest. In these rooms, probably not, because we've got Ethan, D-Rap, and Pepperoni, who are all in the chat with us drafting along. So in these particular rooms, no, not a ton of edge. We didn't see a quarterback taken in the first round. That's very unusual. As I've talked about, I think it's a mistake to take a quarterback early. But just my opinion. It really is a game of chicken. It's not really a game of chicken if all 4 people are playing it. Really more of a game of chicken if only 1 or 2 people are playing. I'm going to wait on quarterback, I feel. Devonna Smith. See, Pepperoni's just not playing nice. Yeah, I hate that guy. Yeah, I mean, he's fine. You can have Devonna Smith. He's my least favorite Eagle. Ethan, like what you're building out there in the 1 hole. Waiting on Goff. I love that. So D-Rap, I don't mind taking Kyron if you get Puka as well on this particular build, because Detroit and the Rams could obviously play in the NFC Championship, and then obviously you're building it through Buffalo on the AFC side. So I don't mind this at all from you. He won't be there, but I'll queue him up just for fun. It is good if there is a fish who takes 3 quarterbacks and you get one of the other 2. Yeah, 100% disagree. Or agree with you there, not so narrow. What's going to happen in this room? Payback. You just didn't have anyone else to take. You took all of the Browns. There were no other Chiefs that were taken. There are no Lions for me to take. I don't want to take any Rams. Not that there's any Rams, but I wouldn't take Cooper Kupp for me. Like D-Rap, it would be totally fine to take Cooper Kupp. Limited options on where I could go there, Pepperatoni. You're going to see me take a second quarterback here. I think it makes the most sense. I think we're going to play Baltimore as a one-off. I think we're going I think we're going Kenneth Gainwell here. And then taking Jalen Hurts in the 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, unless I have 5 Chiefs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, I think this is the play. Yeah, Pepperatoni, I don't mind going Nico, Joe Mixon here because you don't have any Chiefs. So where I think it's unlikely that they win, at least you're not blocking yourself. So, fam, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll run it back tomorrow. Have a good evening, y'all.
1 week season.